Your future self has a message for you, so let's see what it is. This is a pick a card reading, so I have 3 different piles for you to choose from. And I'll have timestamps for your group as well. For group 1, wow, your future self feels very different than how you feel now. Your future self feels lighter, like literally lighter, as if there is just this dense energy that has been lifted off of you. Your future self feels free and abundant. Your future self is full of vibrant life and is in a place of celebrating where they are at. They have created a lot, they have achieved a lot. Their life has felt like an adventure in the best way. And they want you to know that you are going to feel that way. You are going to rise from where you are at, and you are going to feel so much better. There is a gift for you, a gift that is coming to you. And this could be related to your manifestations, this could be a literal gift, but something is coming your way that is going to help you. And you don't need to know all of the answers, you just need to take this journey one step at a time. There is so much fire within you, like there is an extreme amount of fire in you. You could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but you don't have to be. Either way, you just have this intensity burning within you. Your future self has learned to tame that fire, to cultivate it, to harness it, to work with it, to create amazing things. Where you are at now, you haven't fully learned how to control the fire within you. I don't think you've really let it out of you at all, but you haven't fully learned how to control that fire. And you are meant to, because when you can harness that, you are going to be unstoppable. Like literally racing forward in your life. Racing forward, so much forward movement. You are going to be creating something for yourself, building something for yourself. You are going to be in control of your life, creating your life. And you may be having a lot of anxiety. And you may feel a little bit of resistance to making any big changes or taking any big actions because you're afraid to. You don't really know what's going to happen. You are carrying a lot. But again, when you channel that, you are going to create amazing things. Like you are at the beginning of an amazing journey. Things truly are going to get better, but there's an action that you must take. Like right now you might be at a little bit of a standstill. You're a little stuck for moving forward. And it's like, because you have this intensity within you, when you are not channeling it into something, it's almost like those flames can eat away at yourself. You might feel very stressed out. You might feel very burnt out. You might feel anxious. Like there's just a lot of overall intensity within you. And you aren't meant to keep that within you. You are meant to let that light out. You are meant to ignite that fire. Your future self is looking at you with kind of a sense of urgency, telling you to literally get up and keep going, because your future self knows you're kind of at a crossroads. Like you are going to have to actively choose to take action and move your life forward and start creating things for yourself, because it won't just happen unless you make it happen. And this is a very odd metaphor, but like with horses, when they have colic or whatever and they're supposed to keep walking, like if you can get the horse up and walking, then it will likely get better. I don't know that much about that, so I could be wrong. But that's the energy here, where your future self is telling you, like, literally just get up, get moving, and you will be fine. You will get better. Everything will get better. You just have to get up and get moving. And while I do think this is just about taking action in general in your life, this could be about movement too. Like maybe you have so much excess anxiety and emotions that literally going for a walk might actually help you just release some of that anxiety, some of that excess energy. Burn off your excess energy in some way instead of just letting it kind of fester and grow within you. But if you are going to let it grow within you, then channel it into something. Maybe you like creating, maybe you like art, maybe you like painting, maybe you like drawing, journaling. Do something with that energy within you, whether it is you're moving your body to let it out or you're channeling it into something creatively. Do just something, because you've possibly been dimming your light, repressing your creativity. You are meant to let that out. Your future self took control of that fire within you and created a life that is so sweet and so successful. The perfect balance of work and play, where your work is still connected to your passions. It doesn't just feel ugh, I have to go to work. Whatever it is you're doing, you pour your heart and soul into that. You are a very passionate person. You are meant to be a leader. Your future self is a leader. Your future self has such authority over your life. Your future self actually helps other people who have been where you are. Maybe you're guiding a friend, but maybe you actually speak to others about this, like more widespread. Like I just feel like there's something about communication when it comes to your future self. Like your future self has a vision, your future self makes things happen, and your future self wants to help others make that happen for themselves too, because they know how it felt to be in that crossroads place of I have all of this fire within me, and if I don't do something with it, that fire is just going to like eat away at me, or my flame is going to keep diminishing, and that doesn't feel good either. When you stop repressing your creativity, when you let that creativity out of you, that fire out of you, it's like it is rushing out of you towards what you want, and then all this like magic is also rushing towards you, like kind of taking the place of all that excess fire that was in you. And I just feel like it's like this fire and this magic is combining and creating something insanely amazing for yourself. It's like you are going to create literal magic in your life, something so transformative. There's something you're meant to learn as well, like there's some sort of knowledge or skill or talent you are meant to grow. That knowledge is going to be like a backbone for you in some way. So it's like the foundation to whatever it is you are going to create. You're meant to start learning more about that now. Your future self already knows what that is, and you might already have an idea of what that is now as well. And your future self is telling you loud and clear, harness your fire, cultivate your fire, channel your fire, trust in it, accept it. And when you do that, that is when the adventure and the blessings come into your life. Your future self turned up the heat, and your future self is telling you now, turn up the heat, like it is time to go. Your future self wants you to know that you are creating the prosperity that you desire, the abundance that you desire. When you pour yourself into what you are doing, when you light that fire within you and let it fuel you, you are creating everything you've dreamt of. You are bringing it into this reality yourself. It is going to be a balance of sweet and savory. Like there is just this perfect balance in what you are creating. Both sides are intense, but they balance each other out. And your future self has more of a leadership role. So in your career, maybe that's what you're working towards now, or it's just something about you are going to create more for yourself. You're going to rise above where you're at. There's a big feeling of releasing something heavy and just rising up in your life. So overall, your future self wants you to know that you will create the life you desire. You have to tame and cultivate that fire within you. You have to channel it into what you want, but that fire is a gift. You have an intense, vibrant energy to you. It's powerful. And maybe at times that fire has burned you because you haven't fully learned to let that fire out, but you are going to learn how to. You are fiery and you are just full of life. You are going to channel that into building a life for yourself, and you are going to enjoy it greatly. It is going to be so sweet, so savory, so successful. So if you are at a bit of a crossroads, this is your reminder to get up and to keep going. Just keep going and you will get better. Things will get better. Things do get better for you. For group 2, your future self has reclaimed your power. Your future self has boundaries. Your future self takes space for yourself. Your future self can connect with others without feeling kind of drained. You might be an empath, like you have very sensitive energy. You could also be kind of introverted, or if you're not introverted, your soul has been calling for you to take more time to introspect, like have some quiet time, have some reflection time. I feel like comfort and nostalgia and like kind of being just like cozy, like homebody energy has always been part of who you are, and that's still part of who you are in the future. Your future self still loves a lot of the things that you love now. Your favorite movie now is still one of your favorite movies then. And if you are into movies, I see 2 different couches. There's the couch of kind of where you're at now. It's kind of in like noir lighting. Like it's kind of dim, and this couch, you feel lonely. You feel kind of like you're suffocating. Things feel very dense, heavy, sad, kind of. And this other couch in your future self's life, it's like, it's cozy, it's open, it feels very light. You connect with others, but you still have your space. Like your life gets brighter and it gets better in subtle ways. It's like every element in your life is going to just flip in a good way. Like this, watching a movie feeling lonely flips to you watching a movie feeling like, I'm so cozy, I'm so content in my life, I feel so good now, I feel so comfortable now. Your life goes from a noir to a Hallmark movie. And I mean, life is like a Christmas Hallmark movie. It's kind of goals. Yes, it can be cheesy at times, but you know that they are so happy, you know that they are so content and thriving, and there's so much connection in in those movies too. Like, your future self is so connected with others in a way that you can be, because your future self has the boundaries that you need to be able to do that, and your current self is still kind of lacking those boundaries. It's kind of like you are like an empath. Like, when you are connecting with other people, you are taking on their energy. When you go out in public, you might feel, if you're in like a crowd, you might feel just like overstimulated, and your energy is like a breath of fresh air. There is this lightness to your soul that other people are drawn to, but in a way that it's like they are kind of reaching for more of your energy than you have to give. Your future self wants you to prioritize your sleeping as well. Maybe you are nocturnal, like you're up all night, or you are sleeping for like 12 hours. Like, it's one of the extremes, and there's something about your sleeping habits that you're meant to work on. Maybe before bed, you need to create a more relaxing environment. Maybe you need to have lavender spray or drink chamomile tea. Maybe you do yoga before bed. Very specific. Some of you might need a softer pillow. There's just something about getting more and better sleep. And in general, your future self is telling you to be okay with this kind of restorative period that you're at in your life right now. Like, you are in your hermit energy, or you're being guided into that. With the season right now of winter, it's like you are being called to go into a restorative, regenerative time where you are resting, you are regaining your energy, and you are preparing for what's next. And in this period, this is when you start to really build those boundaries around yourself, so that when you really return to the world and you are much more active in the world, you don't feel like everyone is just taking your energy away again. You're also very intuitive. You might have like psychic dreams, just gut feelings. There is just something very spiritual, kind of psychic about your energy. And you're probably going to be getting signs, if you haven't already, that are guiding you to where you're meant to go. So trust these signs, follow these signs. You have a very unique energy in general. Like, I think of David Bowie, like there's just something that's unique and kind of otherworldly about you at times. And that uniqueness, that sensitivity that you have, it is a gift to this world. It is a power too. Like, you are powerful. Though it seems like a burden sometimes, once you have reclaimed your power and once you have those boundaries, your ability to connect with the world around you is just next level. You can see things that others can't. Something about your future self just like has an eye for seeing the little things that no one else can catch. And also, if you're working towards something, your future self is telling you, no matter how many no's you get, you only need one yes. So whatever it is you're working on, do not let the no's stop you, because you just need that one yes, and you get that one yes. Your yes moment comes and it takes you somewhere great. You are meant to keep trying, because that's how you manifest whatever it is you're manifesting. You evolve into such a powerful version of yourself. But what's really interesting, and what you might not want to hear, is that your future self wants you to basically time travel to your past. There's something about your childhood that you are meant to look at. Your future self already did that time traveling. Your future self already went back, went within, looked at whatever it is you needed to see, you needed to heal, you needed to process, you needed to accept. There is something in your past, in your childhood, that you are meant to deal with, that your future self has already dealt with, that breaks a cycle in your life, that breaks some sort of conflict, some sort of loop that you have been stuck in. Your future self wants you to look at your past self, look at where you have come from, and where there was some sort of shift in your journey. Because I feel like you are a very sensitive soul. And maybe when you were around like 8 or 9 is kind of when you became very aware of that sensitivity. Like, you kind of had to start putting up defenses or kind of numbing yourself to that part of you. That kind of just kept going until maybe you're like a young teen and you are just numb. Like, there is a numbness or a shut down part of you that you had to shut down because you couldn't handle the sensitivity. You couldn't handle the overwhelm and the draining feelings you had and the like jittery anxiety, and just, it's like you felt you were too sensitive for the world around you to keep up with it. And there's something about you going back to your childhood, looking back at some things, and you just have this switch, you just have something clicks. I don't know what it is, but you face whatever it is you've been running from. You face your fears. You accept your shadows. You accept the parts of you haven't wanted to deal with. And that acceptance brings you this sense of peace. It makes you feel much more whole. It makes you feel much more in your power. Like, you don't have to completely heal these parts of you. Just seeing them, just accepting them is enough to make a change. It's how you manifest your future life. It's giving like Inception. Like, you have to go on some sort of journey backwards to then leap forward into who you become. You free yourself from whatever you've been stuck in, and you get there. Wherever it is you're going, you get there. You have what it takes to do this. It will take You really summoning all of your strength, all of your courage, but you make this happen. And it is worth every second of it. Your future self wants you to know that you do find a sense of balance, of peace, of feeling like no one and nothing is draining your energy anymore, taking away from you anymore. You have the boundaries to protect your energy, and you feel so content in your life. You feel so comfortable in your life, like cozy. You literally are going from a noir life to a Hallmark movie life. You are going to have people around you who make you so happy. Like, I just see you like laughing and just joyful, and you are connected to people who, whether or not you had boundaries, these are people who wouldn't want to take your energy in the first place. So if you do have people in your life who are takers now, you might be releasing them at some point, or just setting some boundaries with them, creating some space with them. You are a very sensitive, unique, creative soul. You are a gift to this world, to the people in your life. Trust your intuition more, trust the signs that you get, and know that you are meant to look at your past to break some sort of cycle that then propels you into your future. You evolve into who you are meant to be. And who you are meant to be is incredible, and again, truly a gift to this world. For group 3, what's funny is I did this reading last night and wrote notes on it, and I wrote crows on it, and now you're probably gonna hear a lot of crows outside of my window because they're just flying, a zillion are flying around right now. Probably a message in crows for you. And for group 3, your future self wants you to know that you are found. Your future self finds yourself, your soul, who you are, your direction, your compass. Your future self finds it all. You have had this sense of urgency racing forward. You feel like you are missing something. There's something missing from your life, but you don't even know exactly what it is, but it has upset you deeply inside to not have this thing. It's like your soul is yearning for this something, and your future self wants you to know that you find it, and it is yourself. It is who you are. It is your direction, your purpose. It's like all of your energy comes back to you, and you just find your balance and you find your center. And in your center, everything that you're looking for, it's already inside of you. And your future self finds that and feels so clear and good and peaceful. I feel like there's a lot of noise in your life, noise in your mind. Things just feel a little bit chaotic. And so your future self is telling you right now, that thing that you're looking for, relax, because I have it with me. It's safe. For some reason, I see jewelry, like you might wear accessories or you are meant to get like a crystal ring or something, but it's just like, there's something about like a ring and gold jewelry. I don't know. And your future self is grabbing you by the shoulders, stopping you, because it's like you are running in place even when they stop you. You're just like, no, I need to keep going. And your future self is telling you, stop running, ground yourself, take care of yourself, recenter yourself. Literally, like, take care of yourself, mind, body, and soul. Do more deep breathing, drink more water, take your vitamins, eat more vegetables, get out in nature. Your future self wants you to slow down, to stop running, and to look at where you are right now and help yourself where you are right now. And when you stop, you probably have so many of these like, but what if this, but what if that? Like, no, I need to keep going because XYZ. Your future self is telling you, stop running, you get there, and the answer you're looking for, the clarity and the direction you're looking for, it's right here inside of you. And if you would stop running and you would come back to yourself and balance yourself, you will feel it in you. You will know what to do. There's so much going on, and at this point you're kind of running on fumes. Like, it's time to stop and to be here with yourself and to regain your energy. And your future self really wants you to focus on your own path. And again, where you are right now, because that's how you find the answers that get you to your future self, to that version of you. It's like you're on your path and you're looking at the sky and you're looking at what's over here and what's over here, and there's like a million different billboards of all the different lives you could have, and you're like, how am I supposed to know which way to go, what to do, who to be? You have so many different options that it's overwhelming you. But on this path that you're on, your future self again wants you to stop, look at the ground right in front of you, look at where you are right now, focus on just your next step. Don't worry about 20 steps ahead right now. In this moment, just focus on your next step. And I feel like with that, you are creating your own path. You're going off the paved road and onto a dirt path, and you create a life for yourself that feels wholly authentic to you. And coming back to those like billboards of just all these different lives you could have, your future self wants you to look at the things that inspire you, what calls your interest, and just take bits and pieces from each billboard, each option of the lifestyle you could have. Like, you don't have to go that entire path and become that person, but maybe there's something that potential version of you, that lifestyle has that you want. Maybe you are taking bits and pieces from along the way, creating your own authentic, unique life, becoming your true self. Also, side note, but you could be an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, you don't have to be. But I feel like a big part of your path right now is connecting to your center and finding your balance. Your future self who has connected to that balance, that's where your power comes from. And that's where you thrive. And your future self also wants you to know that who you are right now is enough. You are enough, and you are also not too much. Because I feel like people in your life have made you feel like you're too much of this, too much of that. You're all these contradictions of like, no matter who you are, it's too much, or it's never enough. Like, it's never right to other people. But who you are is enough, just as you are. You don't need to change yourself for anyone else. The quirks you have are what make you interesting, they're what make you unique, and they're what makes your life exciting and fun. Like, you have your own unique path. And that's what you want. You don't want to have this just monotonous life like these other people who are telling you that you're too much of this or that to make you fit into the mold of who they think you should be. People put a lot on you, and to their eyes, you brush it off. Like, other people probably don't know the effect they have on you. But I feel like each little comment that people have said throughout your life, you do for the most part brush it off, but you don't brush it off completely. There's just like a little slice to you each time. And over your lifetime, you have accumulated a lot of tiny little cuts, and your future self wants you to take some time to kind of heal that part of you that doesn't feel like you fit in, that doesn't feel good enough, that feels like you just stand out, but you aren't meant to fit in. But what you feel is almost like imposter syndrome of like, they're gonna see who I actually am. They're gonna see through me. That kind of thing. You are meant to heal that part of you, to accept yourself, to approve of yourself, and to be happy with who you are, to be happy with the fact that you live life to the beat of your own drum. That's what makes your life fun. That's what makes your life interesting. And you attract a lot of interesting people and experiences into your life too. What's interesting is I feel like this group 3 kind of feels like the group 3 I had in the last reading, if you watched that one for the new year, where things just work out for you in weird but good ways. Like, it's sort of like if you were waiting for the elevator and then it opened and suddenly everyone rushed in front of you, and you're standing there like, okay, well, now I didn't get on the elevator, and everyone is just packed in there and squished, and then the next elevator opens and it's empty and you get to go in there by yourself. That's kind of what it feels like, where things work out in weird ways, where it's like, for an instance, it looks like, oh, something just didn't work out. But then whatever those moments are, something else happens that you're like, okay, somehow this worked out in my favor. Things work out in your favor. And if you don't feel that they do now, know that your future self is telling you that they're going to. Things are going to work out in your favor. Things get better for you, they get easier for you, they get more clear to you. You gain a lot more clarity, direction. Direction is huge for you. Your inner compass. It's like you finally connect to it and you just feel it guiding you. You can hear that part of you again, because there's so much noise and stimulation and just so much going on that it's been hard to hear that part of you. But again, your future self is telling you, slow down, breathe, take care of yourself, come back to yourself, find your center, and that's when everything switches for you. Everything shifts for you. You step onto your new path. You step onto your authentic path. That is a reflection of your soul. It is a reflection of everything that you love. You have taken all the things that you find interesting and inspiring, and you have formed them together to create a unique path for you that has everything you love in it. And know that on this path, you won't be alone. It's kind of like you've been a bit of a lone wolf. You find your pack. It's almost like the like Island of the Misfits or whatever. I can't even remember what movie that is. I feel like it's like a claymation movie. I don't know. It's like you are just out there on your path, just living life to the beat of your own drum. And then all these other people in your life who are also like playing their own little instrument start kind of just walking on your path with you. And you just like create this harmony that it's like you just suddenly have like this little band going on, where it's like each of you brings something to the table that the other person doesn't have, that's unique. And it comes together to create this like beautiful music. So overall, your future self wants you to know that you are going to find your compass, you are going to find your path, you are going to find people on your path who really see you for who you are and accept you for who you are, who also realize that you are enough exactly as you are. You are worthy exactly as you are. You are not too much, you've never been too much. and you are going to find your balance. You are someone who is very good at adapting. You are flexible, and you have a major evolution coming your way. And your future self is on the other side of that evolution.